basics for kicking. Can't really get a good angle in this right now. I will kind of do some follow-up stuff later on when I'm at the gym next time. Get a better angle in the bag for you. This is the same thing though with your punches, where you start with a stable base and you have a couple different options here and how you're going to get into the right position and generate power from a kick. Even if you have good height or whatever, don't focus on that for now. Just you want to focus on repetition and good form with the kicks. Same thing like with the punching. Don't try to speed it up. Don't try to put a bunch of fancy stuff together. This is just a basic bare bones kick. And I'll try to include a couple different angles on this. But again, I don't really have the space for it here, so that will be more for another time. But same thing, you're in that running position. Same thing from when you have your guard up here, starting out. Focus at first on just a very basic one, where you're going to keep that one hand that's not on the kicking side more or less locked into the guard position to protect you. Later on, you get more into some different guard positions where you kind of cross guard. Some people throw the arm down to the side, some people throw the arm out to the front. Doesn't really matter. In certain situations, one can be more beneficial than the other. Arm to the front kind of keeps you guarded more, even when you're pivoting that back foot. You're hitting this area on your shin. This is what you're shooting for, at least. That part of your leg, that's where you want to hit. That's where you're going to get the most power out of your kick. Don't want to hit with the top of your foot. Easy to break stuff in there. Same thing, you try to reach too far, you hit with your toes, you're going to break stuff really easily. So this is just going slow, focusing on basic kick for now. Again, hand out can create distance, can keep people's guards, that's fine. Even if you just throw it in front of you, that's fine. Hand down, same thing as well. It's kind of helping you create momentum in the line for the kick. And your two options in terms of the power and getting into the right position are either from where you are in your stance, you're pivoting up onto the ball of your foot as you go, or you can do a slight step forward or out to the side. Either way, you're kind of coming off from the center just a little bit. So from the back here, it's going to be here or kind of here, where you're moving out to create that space. You don't have to pivot as much when you do that. You can create more power, you get offline. You're more flat-footed. Depending on how your leg is, you might kind of be locked into place. Again, there's tons of variations here, but this will just be very basic for now. So you're either going to be swinging, and when you do connect, you want your hips turned. Same thing like with that punch. So that's the pivoting option. You're pivoting up, you're creating power, turning those hips over. Stepping out one, you're coming over, and almost at the same time, you're getting that power. You start to throw that leg as soon as that foot touches the ground. You're using that momentum to the side with your whole body. That's why for now, don't worry about height. Just focus on the form. So you're kicking. A good thing about the foot pivot, because you're going to use it a lot anyway, if you focus on that one, you can also focus on your balance, staying in place when you do it. Make sure that you're not kicking and falling forward. There are situations where you can do that, kick and then work into clinch, but that's again for a later time. For now, just focus on kick, come back, kick, come back. You're bringing yourself up taller, you're pivoting, your foot and your hip is going over. That hand goes down, the other hand stays up. And it looks the same thing from the opposite side. But now this hand's gonna stay up, this hand's gonna go down. you can see too, when I throw the kick, my knee is actually pointing to the side, because at that very end, that's when you're turning over. You're driving that part of your shin into here, into here. That's kind of what you're aiming for. To the body, to the leg, even if it's down lower at the last little bit. It's all about that turnover for the power. And again, so pivot, get your power out of it, or step. You still do pivot a little bit, but it's not as much as when you're staying in position. And just break that stuff down. Go slow too. Doesn't all have to be power shots. If you can control it on something light, you hang something like a small bag or something light like that, getting that control, it's going to be better for sparring. You're going to have better balance. It's not all about power, speed for everything, because if you're doing a shit job on the form and getting back to position afterwards, in an actual situation, it's not going to be as good. As much as you're also focusing on that boom, getting over, it's also about going back into position. Later on, you can do a slow kick, bring back position fast. And when you tie it all together, so you're here again, you're ready to punch, ready to kick again, double it up, But you work on that, layering it up slowly. At first, single kick from both positions. One from the right, one from the left. Go again, 10 from the right, 10 from the left. You'll build up the strength, stability, and everything over time.